But the truth is that your sales page, it's not for your peers. You have to remind yourself this. It's not supposed to sound good to them. It's supposed to resonate with your potential clients. Welcome to Seven Figure Copy, the show where I teach you how to create powerful strategic messaging so you can attract high-paying clients and scale your business to the next level with ease. I'm Gina Whitehouse, your expert conversion copywriter, and this podcast is for ambitious, value-driven female entrepreneurs like you who are ready to scale from 6 to 7 figures without sacrificing what matters most: your values, your time, and your family. In each episode, we'll dive into the art of crafting persuasive words for high-converting websites and sales pages, and you'll learn strategic copy techniques so you attract premium clients and boost your revenue. This podcast was created to help you tackle the challenges of balancing family life and business growth as you take your business to the next level. If you're ready to add a trusted partner to your team, making sure your message is compelling, consistent, and impactful, then you're in the right place. Hey everybody, it is Gina Whitehouse here, your host of the Seven Figure Copy podcast and your go-to conversion copywriter. I'm excited. This is our last episode of season 2, and I want to address something that I'm not going to say I hear a lot, but I have heard quite a few times. So I thought, you know what? Let's just tackle it head on and address it. So put yourself in this mindset. You finally did it. You hired a conversion copywriter, whether it was me or someone else, okay? And you decided to invest in a strategic, high-converting sales page. Now, if you've been listening all season long, you know that the theme for this season is all about getting people to say yes to your offers. Therefore, a lot of these episodes have been about how to put together that sales page to sell your offer. So again, let's put our head in this. You have finally did it. You invested in a conversion copywriter, and now you have your sales page in your hand. Imagine this. You open that Google document and you start reading through the words. And wow, you are scrolling through all the pages, because let me tell you, a high converting long form sales page, when I hand it over to my client, can be up to like 20 pages, or I like to say up to 6,000 words. So you realize, wow, this is great, but it's long. Okay. So the next thing you might think is, well, you know what? Why don't I send this to another business owner I know and get their feedback? Or let me send this to my biz bestie, or let me send it to a friend or someone in my mastermind group. And ultimately, right, you're going to hand it to your website designer. Well, this is what happens when you do that. And I'm not telling you not to do that, but let's just talk through this. This is what's going to happen. You are suddenly going to get 12 different opinions. You might hear, wow, this feels too long, or wow, this is kind of emotional, or I don't understand this. Or they may read through it and they're like, wait, who is this for again? And then what happens? Even the best of us may start spiraling and second guessing everything, wondering, okay, did I invest in the right thing? So here I am today to tell you that your sales page is not for your peers, okay? It's not supposed to sound good to them. It's actually written, right, as we've talked about all season, to speak directly to your potential customers and clients, the ones that are ready to buy. So that's what we're going to dive into in today's episode. We're going to talk a little bit about why your sales page feels too long and why that's actually a good thing, and how asking for too many opinions can quietly tank your confidence and ultimately the power of that message that is on your sales page. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Yes, sales pages are long. I want you to think of maybe a group program that you've bought into, or it could even be a product, something that's like high ticket, and you land on that sales page and you scroll, right? You scroll down and down and down. But if you're someone who is looking because you're actually looking for something you need, I don't know about you, but me, I don't mind scrolling down, because as I'm reading it, I want to know more about it. I might have some hesitations. I want to make sure that all those hesitations I might have or objections, that there's an answer for it there. I want to know, what am I getting? Like, if I'm going to invest thousands of dollars into something, I want to know exactly what I am getting. Okay. So Sales pages are long. Yes, they are, and they are supposed to be. It's not a flaw in the system or in the framework, okay? It's actually part of the strategy. A long sales page, it doesn't mean that you're being repetitive or boring or overly salesy, because I've heard that one before too. It actually means that you are guiding someone through a complete decision-making journey, right? So you're not just introducing them to your offer and then saying, buy it now. No. You are helping them move from a curious mind to someone who you want to be committed to buying that thing. And this takes many, many, many components. And I have touched on these throughout this season, but let's bring it all together again. It takes building trust. It takes connecting emotionally with that person. It takes painting that vision of what their life is going to look like after they buy this thing or after they work with you. It takes answering objections right there in your copy and explaining the offer clearly. And another big component here, another big component is showing proof that it actually works, right? So this doesn't just happen in one page, like one printed page, right? This happens in multiple pages in many, many, many words, all right? So you don't want someone skimming and leaving that page with more questions. You want all their questions answered. So if you're worried your sales page is too long, I want you to ask yourself this, okay? Am I giving my ideal buyer or client the information, clarity, and emotional connection they need to say yes? Or you could actually reframe that and say, is my sales page too short? And then go through these things. Am I giving them the right information? Am I clear? Am I emotionally connecting with them? Am I connecting with them by addressing some of the pain points or challenges they're having right now? Am I painting that vision of what they could have after they buy this service, product, or offer? Am I explaining it clearly? And am I showing proof that it works through testimonials, case studies, etc.? So ask yourself that before you just give up and say, oh, this is too long, I need to shorten it. So now let's talk about a common hiccup that I've seen happen multiple times. And this happens when your copy meets your website designer, okay? So you hand off your sales copy over to your website designer, and they might say, whoa, this is way too long. Nobody's going to read all this. If you hear that, I just want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to remember the things I'm going to tell you right now. And I also want to preface this with saying that I love my website designers. Website designers are so important. They make the page look beautiful. When the text, the copy, and a beautiful website come together, it's like magic, okay? But you may hear this if your website designer was not very clear on how many words they will be getting for this page. In fact, I think a lot of people skim over this, but in my contracts, I will say that you're getting a sales page up to 6,000 words. It may not be that long, but usually when I write a long-form sales page, it will fall somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 words. So make sure to look at your contract that you get from your copywriter and just assume it's going to be that long. When you talk to your website designer, you need to be clear about what a sales page is, okay? So here's the thing. Most website designers, they are not trained in sales psychology, all right? They're probably expecting a very clean and minimalist homepage with 5 sections, not a fully optimized conversion-ready sales page that might run 3,000 or more words. So when they say it's too long, it's often because they quoted you based on like a basic web page layout, right? Not because the copy is like a high converting sales page. So they're thinking, like if you were to say, okay, let's say you have a website designer and they're working on your entire web page from start. Okay. So they're thinking homepage, about page, and maybe a services page. But let's say you want that services page to just be your signature program. Let's say you got other things that you're still trying to figure out, but you just need to get this web page started. So that's a 3-page website. Okay. Your website designer might be thinking, okay, 3-page website. So that sales page you're thinking is just going to be as short as the other 2 pages. When no, that sales page is probably going to be at least 3 times as long as those other pages. So when you hand them that copy and they see how much it is, they might be thinking, whoa, I should have charged my client a whole lot more money because this is going to take me so much more time to put this page together. So who's responsible for this? The responsibility comes from you to explain to your website designer that this is not a regular website, that this is a sales page. So, and you can tell them it's going to be up to 6,000 words, possibly, right? So that way they can quote you the right price for that, and you don't end up hearing them come back and saying, this is too long. But anyways, so what I want to say is that a lot of times this is where the communication breaks down, right? And sometimes you as a business owner might get caught up in the middle of it. So again, we just need to be clear, okay? Your sales page copy, it is based on strategy and conversion, all right? It's not based on what neatly fits into a template. You need to remember, again, like I had just talked about, that there are many parts to a sales page and that you're taking someone from the beginning of a journey to an end, right? To say yes to you. So your web designer, their job is to take that copy, to put it on the page, make it look beautiful, make it look graphically pleasing to the eye. So what I mean by that is like, you're not just going to take the text and just place it there, right? You're going to put pictures, you're going to use different formats for different blocks and such. Okay. So that's where their expertise lies in. So just remember, you invested in a conversion copywriter to give you that sales page that has all those psychological triggers and all those different building blocks to build trust, to paint that vision, to answer those objections. So when your website designer comes back to you and they say, okay, this is too long, you have to remind yourself why you invested in the conversion copywriter to write this copy for you, and then work with them and say, no, this is what it needs to be. All right. And I want to add one more thing. It's okay to go back to your copywriter and say, hey, maybe are there some areas that we can shorten this? That's fine too. Because again, like we talked about, which episode was it? I think it was 3 or 4 ago. I think we're talking about the red flags that a copywriter, or when you're looking at a copywriter, what are some of the red flags to look for? Let's see, this is episode 38, 36, 35. I think that was episode 35. Anyways, I talk in there about finding a copywriter that is flexible, right? That is willing to do revisions and that kind of thing. So it's okay. Like if you found the right copywriter, it's okay to go back and say, hey, can we shorten this a little bit? That person should be open to saying, yes, let's jump on a call. Let's look at how we can make things more concise, or how we can like graphically change a few things so that the copy shortens a bit. If you've ever thought, I know my offer helps people, but I'm not sure if my sales page is motivating people to buy, I want you to know right now that you are not alone. Let's get you from second guessing every word to selling your service, product, or program with confidence and clarity ASAP. Today, I'm inviting you to book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat with me to find out whether you need a strategic copy audit of your existing sales page, or if you need a newly written, high-converting, done-for-you sales page. Let's make your offer sell easier, attract the right fit people, and make them think, how did she get in my head? Go to the show notes to book your call today, or go to my website at whitehousesm.com. All right, next let's talk about how your website or your sales page isn't for your peers, but it's for your potential clients. Okay, so this is a big one. So too many smart entrepreneurs ruin a great sales page by asking for feedback from the wrong people. So I'm talking about like, okay, you've received your sales page, and now you go to maybe other friends in the business space that you have, and you say, take a look at this. Or maybe you give it to your partner or spouse. Perhaps you're giving it to your assistant, or I don't know, one of your favorite people, let's say, okay, a friend. Here's what happens. You ask them what they think, and they all give different opinions, and suddenly you are second guessing everything. But the truth is that your sales page, it's not for your peers. You have to remind yourself this. It's not supposed to sound good to them. It's supposed to resonate with your potential clients. I've talked a lot here about how important the research is before I write a sales page, and how important it is for you to have the research, right, of your ideal client. Well, this is one of the reasons why I do this. This is one of the reasons why I personally like to interview 3 of your most happiest, satisfied clients and customers and actually use their language in the copy. And why is that? It's because your best buyers, they will tell you what they care about. All right. They will tell you what that transformation was that they had after they worked with you or bought your product or your offer. And they will tell you what made them say yes. So I gather all of this from the interviews I do. Then I pull out the themes, and then I use even some of their exact words and phrases to write your sales page. So the problem is when you go to all these other people to get opinions, they aren't that ideal target audience. So when you show it to them, they might say, oh yeah, this is really long, or like, I don't understand this, or why do you have this here? Why do you have that there? Because they are not your target audience. And just like I talked about with a website designer, they might be thinking like when you send them that website page, their first thoughts are, wow, this is a really long page, because they're thinking of just what a website page usually looks like, a regular website page. They may not have even landed on a sales page for something before, so they don't understand all the different blocks that are on there of text. They don't understand the psychology on it, and how it's put together. So my caution to you is that when you go to your friends and all these other people, and again, I'm not saying not to show it to anybody. The best people to show it to is to go to your actual target audience, your ideal client, someone you know that would be like a really great buyer for you, or a client, customer, and show it to them and ask, does this resonate with you? The question that you shouldn't be asking is this page too long? Because you know how it is. Anytime you ask a question to someone and you kind of preface it with the thing that you're looking for, like if you say, is this sales page too long? Then they're first just going to look at the length of it, and they're going to scroll down and down and down. They're like, oh yeah, this is too long, right? Don't preface it with, is this too long? When you give this to someone, the right way to do it is to ask, does this sales page resonate with you, or does this make you want to buy this thing? Okay. So again, I'm not saying don't show it to anybody, not to get any feedback or opinions, but show it to the right people, because someone who isn't your target audience, they really may just not understand what it is altogether, or they might just assume that it's supposed to be the length of a regular web page, and they'll be like, yeah, that's too long. And then it just starts to create that doubt in your mind about this great piece of copy that you have, that your copywriter put together for you, that you invested in, that really is going to be that great asset that you can use over and over again to launch that group program or your course, sell that product you have, whatever it is. Okay. So don't get in your head about it. Show it to the right people. So let's recap today what we covered. First, long sales pages aren't a mistake. Okay. They are a strategy. Second thing, if your website designer says it's too long, they may not understand what that conversion strategy is. They might just be thinking that it's a regular web page like everything else. So make sure to be clear with your website designer how long your sales page really is going to be, so they can anticipate that and also charge you correctly for that. And the third thing is stop asking everyone for feedback. Okay. If you're going to get feedback from somewhere, it should be from your ideal clients or customers. And you should ask them, does this resonate with you? Does this make you want to buy? And after reading the sales page, are there any additional questions that you have? Because that's a good one to answer or to ask them. Because if they have additional questions, then you should definitely go back to your copywriter and have them add those questions in there, like in the FAQ section, so that they are answered, or you can just go add them yourself. So if you've ever felt like your sales page is just a little too much, like it's too long, wordy, too detailed, I just want to flip that belief on its head right now, because the right words, when they are spoken to the right people, can make everything feel easier, clearer, and more aligned, and make people want to buy your offer. So as I close out this episode, perhaps you're new to the show and you've never listened to an episode before. Maybe this is the first one, or you've been listening all season, but you've missed a few episodes. I love to leave you with a few standout episodes from this season that will help you and keep your momentum going. Okay. So the first I want to talk about This one was at the beginning of the season. It's episode 22, and it's called Creating Offers That Are Easy to Say Yes To with digital product strategist Alyssa Belisario. So this was a great episode. It was a great conversation between Alyssa and I, and we talked about what kind of offers can you create that are easy for people to say yes to. So this one's going to help you rethink your positioning of your offer a bit. Okay, so make sure and go listen to that conversation. Another popular episode was episode 26, and that was titled Forget Bro Marketing, The Truth About Ethical Sales with Jan Ditchfield. So this was one of our most downloaded episodes and a powerful reminder that we do not need to use shady tactics to sell well. We had a really great conversation. So definitely go and listen to that. We talk about all the different things that people might use to manipulate you into buying something and how not to use them. Jan was really great about explaining what bro marketing is. Actually, when I got into all this, I did not even understand what that phrase was. So I asked her about that, and we've had a lot of downloads. It definitely sparked a nerve. So definitely go back and listen to that episode. Another episode to listen to is episode 31. And this is the one with Kelly Leardon. She was a client of mine. And so we talked about how the sales page that I wrote for her, that she's had multiple 5-figure launches from that. And so she gives so many good nuggets in this episode. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to partner with a copywriter on a sales page from start to finish, this episode is definitely one you should listen to. She also talks about Instagram a little bit, and Kelly's really great about showing up in stories and building a relationship with people there. So everybody needs great copy. Everybody needs a great sales page, but there are definitely other components to that launch, whether you're launching a few times a year or just getting people to go to your sales page, right? There's so many different little components that make your product or the selling of your product, your offer, your group program successful. So I definitely recommend going and listening to episode 31. Lastly, before you go, I want to make sure that you know about the Yes Vault. I've talked about this throughout the season. So the Yes Vault is like a one-time membership. It's only $14. You go to the page, it's whitehousesm.com/the Yes Vault, and you'll get instant access to 3 short videos. I believe the 3 of them, 2 of them are 15 minutes long, and 1 is 20 minutes long. And it will show you before and after examples of poor copy versus high converting messaging, high converting copy. So if you're not sure that the copy you already have on your sales page is high converting or not, or if it's just not really good copy, this is actually going to show you what great copy looks like. So definitely go to the Yes Vault, get access to that. Again, it's only $14. I believe it's going to help you know whether or not you need to improve your copy. To all my listeners, thank you so much for being here with me. Make sure to go back to season 1 and catch up on those too. The theme for that season was how to set yourself up as an expert. So we talk a lot about website copy. We talk a lot about pages and how I believe your about page is your secret sales page. So it's definitely worth going back to and giving a listen to. Season 3 will be coming out in a couple months at the beginning of the year. I don't have an exact date yet, but most likely it will be in February, and I'm still working out the theme for that. But I am just so happy that you've joined me over the last few months. I totally appreciate the time that you take out to put me in your ear and to listen and to take time and think about how the words on the page reflect you and how they speak or don't speak to your target audience. We want to get them to the point where they land on your homepage or they land on your sales page and they think, how did she get in my head? That is the best high converting copy, because when they see themselves in your copy, when they see that you are someone that can help them and that you understand their struggles and their desires, it's going to make it so much easier for them to say yes to you. And if you're ready for support with your own sales page copy, website copy, maybe you just need to revamp your about page or you need a refresh on your sales page, you know where to find me. Go to the show notes and you can book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat with me. Let's talk about, what do you need right now? And most importantly, are we a good fit to work together? Because you want to find a copywriter that's a good fit to work with you. So I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to talk about any upcoming projects you have, and let's see if we're a great fit. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of 7-Figure Copy. If you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on your favorite platform and follow me on Instagram for more insights. Can you think of one female entrepreneur or small business owner right now who could benefit from listening to this podcast? Please share this episode with them. And if you're ready to hand off the copy for your website, emails, and sales pages, head over to www.whitehousesm.com to book a complimentary copy chat with me. Let's partner together to take your business to the next level.